Hello guys, welcome to Basic Nursing Classes. Myself Amanpreet. In today's video, we are moving on with our topic diabetes mellitus. In the earlier videos, we talked about diabetes, DKA, HHNKA, and then about insulin. And now we are going to talk about one of the complication in diabetes, that is metabolic syndrome. It's a not very common topic, but we should know some of the things, some important points to remember, which are very useful from exam point of view, and every nurse should know these points. Okay, so let's move on with that. So basically metabolic syndrome, this other name is insulin resistance syndrome, which means when the body develops some resistance to insulin, then it is called metabolic syndrome. And in every syndrome we know there are some certain you can say conditions which occur. Okay, so similarly over here some cluster of conditions, they combine together and they give rise to a syndrome. So in metabolic syndrome there is a cluster of certain conditions that occur together, and it further increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases, or they can increase the risk of developing type 2 diabetes mellitus, and these are damaging conditions to both brain and heart because they can lead to stroke or even cardiac arrest. Okay, so these are very critical conditions and we should know these conditions. So let's begin with that. The very first condition is increased waist circumference. And waist circumference, it is basically the indication of total percentage of our body fat. Okay, and if it is more than 40 inches in men and more than 35 inches in women, then it is an alarming situation. So the patient should be alert that my body is going into a bad phase. Okay, and it can lead to some cardiac diseases. Okay, and second condition is increased blood pressure. Firstly, the systolic pressure if it is more than 130, and diastolic pressure if it is more than 85, or the patient is already having history of hypertension. Okay, and he is already on antihypertensive medications. Third condition over here, that is triglyceride levels if it is more than 150 milligram per deciliter, or the patient is already on the medication to lower down the triglyceride levels in the blood. Okay, and the fourth one is HDL, that is high density lipoproteins if it is less than 40 in men and less than 50 in women, or the patient is already on the drugs. Okay, and fifth one is fasting blood sugar. Okay, and if it is more than 100 mg per deciliter, or the patient is already on anti-diabetic medications, it can be either insulin or it can be some oral anti-diabetic medications. Okay, sorry, and diabetic medications. Okay, and these are the conditions which are present in metabolic syndrome. And in metabolic syndrome, to be present, either three of these conditions or more than three, or you can say all of these can be present. Okay, but the minimum choice of three should be there. Okay, and it's an alarming condition. The patient should be aware of these conditions and he has to take care of his body well. And the causes behind metabolic syndrome, first is obviously it is inactivity. If the patient is not doing physical exercise as much he is required to. Second is obesity, if the patient's body fat is too much. Okay, and the prevention, firstly it's very important to choose a healthy lifestyle, and in healthy lifestyle the patient has to do some physical work at least 30 minutes per day. Okay, second is diet. Diet is very important to take care because in diet we can control our consumption of fats, carbohydrates, and in that we should take low fat foods, okay, which are having low saturated fats, okay, or trans fats. And apart from that, we should decrease the carbohydrate content. And in carbohydrate content, the main thing is we have to check for the glycemic index. So the foods which are low, which are having low glycemic index, okay, we should consume that. And third thing is high fiber. The patient should consume the foods which are rich in fibers, okay. For example, the raw foods, raw fruits and vegetables. And the other thing can be salads, okay. And patient should decrease the consumption of foods which are rich in sugar, the sucrose, decrease the sucrose foods, and no saturated or trans fats. And he should reduce the intake of sodium, because sodium can ultimately lead to hypertension, okay. And the example we can take over here, which food we have to avoid. For example, white rice. White rice, they are having a very high glycemic index, okay, so we should reduce the consumption of that. Then french fries, obviously either it's baked or they are deep fried. They are very rich in fats, saturated fats, and they are having high levels of sodium. And then bun, they are having less fibers in them, so we should avoid the intake of these foods. And apart from that, insulin resistance syndrome can also lead to diabetic dermopathy, okay. Now we should know what is diabetic dermopathy. It's a skin disorder which is also called acanthosis nigricans, the other name of diabetic dermopathy. And in this condition, there is hyperpigmentation in the skin, okay. It's a skin disorder. There is hyperpigmentation. The skin becomes blackish in color, okay, or some velvety skin. There's some plaque formation on the axilla or a neck. You can see in the patients who are suffering from chronic diabetes, you can see on their neck or their axilla, and the skin has turned some velvety black. That condition is called acanthosis nigricans, and that is diabetic dermopathy. It can indicate insulin resistance in the body. And obviously, if it is present and if the patient doesn't know he is suffering from diabetes, then the patient should be evaluated for diabetes mellitus, okay. Or the patient can be suffering from metabolic syndrome, okay. So these are the important things to remember in metabolic syndrome. And in the next video, we are going to talk about metformin, okay. So good luck for exam. Thank you.